All right, Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo. The first fight of the night is about to start. You'll see 300 new shorts, new gloves. I like Cody, but to be honest, his chin's been very questionable, so that's why I'm going with Davison Figueiredo. All right, Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo just ended. If you don't want that fight spoiled, go ahead and skip to the next video. But Davison Figueiredo got it done with a rear naked choke. I mean, Cody always comes out looking good, looking sharp. I feel like when he lands a few punches, he gets a little bit too cocky. He tried to do a cartwheel kick, got blasted in the chin, and then he just lost position in a scramble, got taken down, almost got finished in an arm triangle, and then inevitably got choked out or finished in a rear naked choke. So, still a fan of Cody. It is what it is. But congratulations, Davison. On to the next. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller is next. Jim Miller's been in the UFC since like UFC 89. Bobby Green's been around for a while. We got two vets, and honestly, I am pretty 50-50 on this fight. On the feet, Green's got it. On the ground, Jim Miller's got it. I picked Green, so I'm going to stick with my pick. Let's see. All right, Bobby Green versus Jim Miller just ended. Like I said, if you don't want this fight spoiled, go ahead and skip to the next video. I'm not going to say that anymore. You guys are watched up to this point. I'm going to spoil every single fight I'm talking about them. So, and this fight went exactly as I thought. Bobby Green on the feet just tore Jim Miller apart. I don't know why Jim Miller didn't try to take it to the ground. He's to clinch any of his strengths. He's just too much of a scrapper, and I wouldn't be surprised if he throws his gloves on the canvas and says, you know, that's it, retiring. But 2 for 2. Let's go. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez is next. To be honest, I don't know too much about Marina. Jessica has also been on a little bit of a decline as of recently, but I got to go with what I know. And I know Jessica Andrade is a hard hitter, so we're going Jessica Andrade. All right, we are 3 for 3, and Jessica Andrade got it done. That was a fight of distance. Jessica Andrade on the inside is like a little Mike Tyson, but Marina Rodriguez was doing good when she was on the outer end of the fight when she kept her distance. But Jessica Andrade did enough to get it done. Good fight. On to the next. All right, Jalen Turner versus Renato Americano is next. And this is another one I was 50-50 on. Jalen Turner is big for that division. He's lengthy, but Renato's been on a little bit of a win streak. He's been looking good lately. Who'd I go with? I think I went with Renato. I'm staying with my pick. Let's get it. All right, 4 for 4. And that also goes for beers. Renato Americano, Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner tried to get that walk-off knockout, but he should have just finished in that first round. But instead, he let it go into a second round. Renato Americano did what he did. He capitalized on what worked for him in that first round, took it to the ground, and finished it with some ground and pound. On to the next. All right, Holly Holmes versus Kayla Harrison next. This fight is very similar to Holly Holmes versus Ronda Rousey, in which Kayla Harrison is a judo fighter. The only difference now is Holly Holmes 42, 43 years old, and Kayla Harrison is a young, hungry dog. I'm going with Kayla Harrison, and I think win or lose, Holly Holmes is probably going to put her gloves on the canvas and retire. Let's find out. My bad. It's Sadiq Youssef versus Diego Lopez next, and I'm going for Diego Lopez. So you guys got them both. You got my Sadiq Youssef versus Diego Lopez prediction and my Holly Holmes versus Kayla Harrison prediction. Let's get it. Now I can get buzzed. I'm going to be pretty buzzed next post probably. Damn, I didn't get a sip of my beer before that one ended. Diego Lopez got it done quick, knocking out Sadiq Youssef. On to the next. Holly Holmes, you got the prediction. Just go 2 clips back. All right, Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holmes went about as expected. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting that Kayla Harrison waited for USADA to get out of the picture before coming into the UFC because that girl is jacked. But anyways, on to the next. Let's see if Holly Holmes retires. All right, surprisingly, Holly Holmes did not retire. If she's planning on sticking around, she should probably go away from that style that she's been doing recently where she grabs girls, pushes them up against the cage, and tries to bully them. That style has not been working for her, especially in this fight where she's fighting a judo Olympic champion. She should go back to her style where she keeps her distance, fights in boxing range or kickboxing range. But I felt like that would have been a good time for her to retire, in my opinion. But let's talk about Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar's taking some time off. I'm interested in how he's going to look now that he's returned. And Aljamain Sterling's going up in weight, so he no longer has that advantage of being the bigger, stronger guy. Very interested in this fight. I picked Calvin Kattar, so I'm sticking with that pick. Oh, actually, my bad. I picked Aljamain Sterling, so I'm sticking with that pick. Damn, your boy is 7 for 7 in UFC 300 so far. Aljamain Sterling made it look easy. I mean, he just showed that he has that championship pedigree. He never slowed down. He kept taking it to Kattar, and he got it done. Now, next, we got Alexander Rakic versus Yuri Prochazka. Another interesting one. Another one that I was very split on. I haven't seen Rakic in a while, so that's why I'm leaning towards Yuri Prochazka. He's just very unpredictable, fun to watch, but he also leaves himself very open, and Rakic can find that chin, so I'm nervous. This might be my first L, but we will see. All right, now you guys probably see why I was cautious about that fight and thinking that might have been my first L, because I knew Yuri Prochazka was going to get hit. He just keeps his chin high, and Alexander Rakic, he's a sharpshooter. He's going to find that chin. He's a great fighter, but there's something about Yuri's just like caveman type of mentality. Gets hit, beats his chest, keeps coming forward with that awkward style and that little hairpiece that's very distracting. He eventually found Rakic's chin with a lot of persistence. He took a lot of punishment to get there, and your boy is 8 for 8. Let's go. On to the next. All right, the main card starting. We got Cody Brimage versus Bo Nickal. Why is this fight on the main card? Everyone booed Bo Nickal at the press conference. We all know why. We all know why he's on the main card. It's because he's a up-and-coming stud, and Dana White wants him to be seen because he could be a future cash cow for the company. All that being said, I don't think Bo Nickal should be on the card, but I definitely picked him because you already know he's leagues above Cody Brimage in the wrestling at least, and I think it's going to be a very, very easy fight. But there's a part of me, I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that would love to see Cody Brimage just KO Bo Nickal. I don't know why I like when Dana White's plans get spoiled. Dana seems like a nice guy, but there's just like a little part of me that wants that to happen. Let's find out. All right, that whole last clip, I kept saying Cody Brimage. It's actually Cody Brundage. Let's just say the beer has been beering, guys. Your boy is buzzed. Let's keep it going. What? Your boy's 9 for 9. Bo Nickal did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Just kind of wrestled, laid on him, kind of like Aljamain Sterling does, like a backpack, got it done. After the fight, he put the thumbs down. Looks like he was kind of disappointed in his performance. Cody Brundage did a good job of making it out of the first round. But, I mean, Bo Nickal, when he gets on you, you're not getting him off. So, interesting first fight to the main card. Like I said, Bo Nickal probably shouldn't have been on that main card, but on to the next. Let's go. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan is next. And I'm going with Charles Olive. I mean, obviously was a champ, fan favorite, but Arman Tsarukyan does make me nervous. He gave Islam Makhachev, who is now the current champ, a very, very hard fight. So this is going to be an interesting one, but I do believe after this I will be 10 for 10, but let's see. All right, Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan just ended, and your boy got his first L. That's what I get for choosing with my heart. Arman Tsarukyan is the real freaking deal. He was close to beating Islam. He just beat the former champ. Man, this kid has a bright future. I'm excited to see what he does next, but on to the next. We're almost there. Man, your boy is... All right, 3 more fights, and we got the BMF belt on the line next. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. So I picked Justin Gaethje. I'm sticking with that pick, but last time Max Holloway went up in weight, it was on like 2 weeks' notice, and he made it into a scrap towards the end of that Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway fight. Man, I don't know. Part of me feels like Max could get it done. But I like both these fighters. Part of me also feels like Justin Gaethje could just like put a lot of beating on Max. So we will see. That's the fun of MMA. But it would be fun to see Max go in there and actually do his thing and like look good. I don't know. We'll see. It's an interesting one. I keep going back and forth on it. But I'm going to stick with my original pick. We're going Justin Gaethje. Let's find out. Oh my freaking God. Max Holloway is absolutely the BMF after that. Holy shit. He outclassed Justin Gaethje the whole fight. Justin Gaethje did what he did, was a dog. Those leg kicks were heavy, landed some big shots, but Max Holloway put on a masterclass, and at the end, like he does right here in the center, let's go. They threw bombs, and Max Holloway put him asleep literally seconds ago. BM mother F. Holy shit. That's one of the baddest moments I've ever seen. That's literally the badass moment I've ever seen in combat sports. Maybe it's recency bias, but holy shit. I'm still coming down from that Max Holloway knockout. It was absolutely probably the best moment I've ever witnessed in combat sports. But we got Zhang versus Yan next. Honestly, these two are carbon copies of each other, but I'm going with Weili Zhang. I don't even know if I could enjoy this fight because that last fight was just Max Holloway. What a freaking dog. This makes UFC 300 worth it alone. That was one of the craziest moments I've ever witnessed. Like, honestly. What a freaking beast. Just like when he did it versus Ricardo Lamas. Right here in the middle. He didn't need to do that. He won that fight versus Justin Gaethje. He won that fight. Why would you do that with a slugger like Justin Gaethje? And he did it and knocked out Justin Gaethje. Just absolutely. This is why I love this sport, guys. All right, Weili Zhang got it done. Interesting first round. I believe it was the first round where Zhang choked out unconscious. She made it to the bell. Zhang let go of her. She was halfway there, got up, was stumbling. The ref almost kind of had to help her to her corner. When she sat down, you could hear Uriah Faber talking to the translator, saying, "Hey, we got to wake her up. We got to wake her up." And she woke up, and she was landing some big strikes, but that was an interesting moment because, like, what do you do in that situation? I didn't know if it should have been stopped or it keeps going, like the bell saved her. DC, Joe Rogan didn't know, but yeah, Nan came back, landed a couple big shots, but ultimately Weili Zhang was too much for her. Her stand-up, her ground game, she just mixed it up, the ground and the striking, and got it done. So, fun fight. Time for the main event, Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Honestly, this fight's a lot closer to me if Jamal Hill didn't tear his ACL or Achilles not too long ago. So I am going with Alex Pereira. I've just seen more of him lately. He's an animal. We all know he's an animal. He has that knockout power, but I'm not counting out Jamal Hill. It just all depends on how well he's recovered from that Achilles injury. And Achilles is a hard thing to recover from. So it was an easy pick for me, but it's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited. The main event, we did it. Great night of fights. Let's see what happens. Damn. Alex Pereira just put out Jamal Hill cold. We know one thing. These gloves don't reduce that much impact, the new gloves, but yeah. What happened to the gold gloves, dude? I thought they're supposed to be gold gloves. Regardless, Alex Pereira got it done fast. I mean, Jamal Hill will be back. This was way too quick for him to return from that Achilles injury. But great night of fights. UFC 300 was absolutely amazing. I had Max Holloway create one of my favorite moments in UFC history. I mean, Nate Diaz beating Conor McGregor in that first fight after 2 weeks in Mexico on a boat. It's probably my favorite still, but this is one of the most badass moments ever. Max Holloway right here winning the fight, puts him out cold. Absolutely insane. Great night of fights from start to finish. Wow. Your boy's been drinking water, so I'm feeling good.